I went on a group trip. When's the last time you went on a group trip?
Never. You didn't invite me.
You're not invited. I got asked to perform at this really nice, we'll call it like resort in Southern California. And they were like, we'll give you X amount of rooms. So I invited some girlfriends and then it turned into a couples thing. Great. And then the gig got moved. And my friends were all like, well, we already booked childcare. We still want to go away. So then 2 weeks out, it became, okay, where do 8 adults go? And how do we get an Airbnb? Because the point was to be together. I know that sounds like dumb, but like if you just all get hotels, I don't know how it morphed to be together because we did all have our own hotel rooms, but like something about, unless you're going to like a specific luxury resort, like going away together, you want to be together, like getting a cabin or something.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, how do you get an Airbnb that accommodates 8 adults, 4 couples, king beds in each room? Like you don't want to be the couple that's like, I'll stay in the bunk bed, right?
Yeah.
Really hard to find, all very expensive. And it's like, you don't want to, it was supposed to be a free weekend. So you don't want to like randomly blow a bunch of money on a weekend in August. We find an Airbnb. Okay, so hold on. So the point is, I was like, okay, what if we did like, I don't drink a lot of wine, but like Santa Barbara, or what if we did like the San Ynez Valley, you know, or you go like, we don't want to go to Napa. It's too far. You want to go wine tasting. And so we're looking all over. And then Noah says, why don't we get a house in San Diego and go to Tijuana for dinner? And I think people balk at that because you're like, Tijuana, but it's like people do it all the time. It's where Noah had his bachelor party. And apparently it's like one of the great food cities in North America. So we get a house in a place called Imperial Beach, which is kind of like a blue collar beach border town in like south of San Diego. This place is like all white marble. It's on the beach. It looks incredible. We drive there. Noah and I get there. No air conditioning.
Broken or just doesn't
outside.
exist?
No air conditioning. And because the last people stayed there left the windows open, the owner sealed the windows shut and was like, the AC is working. There's just no display. So you're like, so not only do I not know what number it's on, but you can hear the air in the return, but the air's not coming out of anything. And he put like cheap $25 fans in each room. And we're just like, oh, I'm not staying at a youth hostel. Like, I was just like, either you give us our money back or you're about to get like 8 very angry messages for the public to read on Airbnb. The guy, I think, knew it was shitty because he immediately was like, yep, no problem, refunding it. Like, it was one of those things where it's like, if you're going to be an Airbnb manager, he's like, the maintenance guy should be there now. You're like, have this done before. Like, you knew that this was a terrarium. And it's like 5:00 in the afternoon in Imperial Beach, and we're like scrambling to find hotels. And it's that thing where it's like, if the whole thing was built around walking across the border the next day, you don't want to stay too far away because then it's an even farther Uber ride. I'm like, do we just go home? And my husband, because everyone loves him, he texted Matt at Tribute Pizza, because that's where we were going, which is just a shout out. A fabulous, I'm such an old woman, an incredible pizza parlor in San Diego, because he had like set up our dinner. He was like, hey, we might miss our dinner. We can't find where to stay. And Matt's like, oh, do you want me to text my buddy? He owns the Hotel Lafayette in San Diego. They gave us a bungalow. Noah's like, the service industry people are incredible. They helped us at the buzzer. We found ourselves in a 4-person bungalow in this chic, beautiful hotel that apparently like everyone parties at in San Diego. And it was just like one of those moments where you're like sitting in this sweaty house, basically like Robert De Niro's house from Heat, that's like all white. And you're just like, can I just fast forward 2 hours to find the solution? And we're just in this like incredible, like bohemian, beautifully appointed bungalow. And so shout out to the Hotel Lafayette and Matt at Tribute Pizza. It's the stuff vacation stores are made of.
What did you get? Like, what do they have a pizza that they're known for? Like, they put XYZ on it.
They do their versions of other famous pizzas. So that's why it's called Tribute Pizza. And their salads were incredible. So we did that. walked across the border to Tijuana for dinner the next day, met up with some of Noah's friends, and we'll get into that, but went to one of the 50 best bars in North America. It's called Aruba Day Drinking Bar. The bar itself, you walk in, you're like, okay, whatever. Maybe some of the best cocktails I've ever had in my life.
What kind of stuff did you order?
There was one called like the Norte, something salad, and it was like a tomatoey, herbaceous, like clarified cocktail, like clarified tomato juice. And then I got like a coffee drink that had like a frothy whip on top. It was just all so balanced.
Oh, I think did you post the coffee drink? Did I see a picture of that?
That's a different coffee drink. Every drink we had there, we went to Bar Minimal, or just called Minimal, and all the drinks were like beautiful, balanced. Like I just think a lot of people are like, oh my God, Tijuana, I don't know, Mexico, I don't know. It was outstanding, and all the food was outstanding, and we'll get into it. But city itself is not much to look at, but the people were so warm and lovely, and the restaurants and bars were fucking outstanding. So if you think walking across the border to Tijuana isn't for you, I assure you, not only is it, but it was very easy to get back over. Do not drive, walk. Otherwise you'll be stuck in traffic. Anyways, it was a really cool weekend. And
that's nice.
Turns out at this age, hangovers last 1 or 2 days. I'm okay now.
That's one of my coworkers joined a call on a Monday. I had 3 beers. I don't feel good. Last night. Well, you know what? I appreciate the honesty of just I'm not doing good.
2 small beers.
Expect this.
2 small beers. Anyways, I listened to last week's episode, and I feel like we fumbled one of the questions. And the one that I feel like we fumbled is where the girl was writing in about the guy that was writing her over the years and her answering. And I felt like I didn't quite grasp it. And we spent too much time on it, and it just felt really messy. So I apologize, and we're just going to do a lot better today, and we're going to get right into it.
Well, since we're referring to our last episode, do you want to harken back to you talked about getting your new hair?
I did, and I wasn't going to talk about it now because I didn't do it today. I just washed it last night, but because it's chemically straightened, it's so straight, and it doesn't look good right now, but as a girl who's always had to deal with broken curly hair, having it just fall.
Yeah.
It's the best Gentile feeling. This is so hideous looking right now. That's why I had it up.
But you're glad you did it.
I'm so glad I did, and I don't even care. And my daughter's like, when's it going to grow back? I'm like, fucking never. This is your new mommy.
She doesn't like it?
What is she? I think it's weird anytime your parent changes anything.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, we're here.
We're here. We're queer. Get used to it.
Get used to it. That's what I always say. I leave out the queer part, but I'm like, I'm here. Get used to it.
I'm here. Get used to it.
It's me.
Hi, AIA fam. Greetings from Oslo. I have got a doozy for you, but I'll try my best to keep it concise. And they did a good job.
I'm just trying to get comfortable. I'm listening.
Okay, you're.
I'm sorry.
You have to settle in. No, it's okay.
I'm trying. There's a carpet.
I am a 35-year-old woman from the U.S. married to a Norwegian guy around my age. You can call us Kimberly and Sven.
Clever.
I know. We both come from normal, loving families, but as is expected, each side communicates very differently. This is especially true when it comes to conflict. On my side, we are expressive, emotionally open, and readily vulnerable, while his side is, Norwegian. They are much more reserved, private, and less willing to have emotional or uncomfortable conversations, especially with a family full of sons. My husband and I have learned to navigate this in our own relationship, and even though I miss my family, I love being part of their world. I've easily and gladly stepped into the role of big sister and only daughter, and I get along with everyone really well. My in-laws are truly lovely people. However, the problem was with my brother-in-law, Jacob, with a K.
Jakob.
30. Jakob, 30. He is clearly struggling with depression and getting his adult life started, and no one is doing anything constructive to help him. When I moved here a few years ago, Jakob was finishing his master's degree in design, had a busy social life, and was talking about the next steps. Nowadays, he's like a totally different person. He never found a job after school, and I know the job market's tough, even here, even with degrees. I recently found out he has never had a job in his whole life. Not a bar or shop or anything. My in-laws rent a room for him in Oslo, even though he mostly stays with them in the small country town where they retired about an hour away. Money is not an issue for my in-laws. They've always financially supported him, but Sven is sure that right now they see their generosity as their way of helping him through this tough time. But Jakob sleeps all day, occasionally goes into Oslo to party, and when we visit for the weekend, he only sometimes leaves his room to say hello. When he does, he's disheveled, awkward, and leaves as soon as he can. I've tried to make it clear to him I'm interested in his life and generally rooting for him. And I've definitely encouraged my husband to talk to him and their parents. No one is willing to have a real honest conversation with him about what he needs to do to improve his quality of life and mental health. In part, it's their family, in part, it's Norwegian culture, but there's a secret third thing. He has never been a very nice person. Although I've never witnessed it, he is said to have an explosive, terrifying temper.
Diarrhea. Sorry.
Which
I
is
had to.
You had to.
I had
Which is-
to.
It's apparently one of the reasons no one dares broach the topic with him. But this only makes me think there's an even more dire mental health issue at hand. I've only known this family a few years. There are major cultural differences. I know it's not my place to bring it up. But I just can't stand watching him deteriorate like this. Norway has a lot of great mental health resources for people. It's not nearly as stigmatized here as it is in the US. So I don't understand. Eliza, Emily, help. Thanks for reading. Love you all. Please come back to Oslo. We desperately need to laugh.
You do, and I will be there. I actually have the date in my inbox. Gosh, maybe because I've lived in Los Angeles for too long. I'm just like, why do you care? But I get it. I get that you care.
Yeah.
You're basically what you're saying is, first of all, you're like, this guy had like all these plans. Either something happened. Here's what I think happened. First of all, let's assume that those plans were real versus him lying and being like, here's what I'm going to do next. All right. This guy's had it too good. Now, maybe the dark family secret is that he's like bipolar or chemically imbalanced and crazy anyway, and that's why they help him. You're actually not helping him by renting him this room that he barely uses and letting him stay at home. He has no self-worth. And it doesn't sound like these people are going to push him out of the nest anytime soon. And there's not a lot for you to do. You're like, I've told him that I'm there for him, but like this kid doesn't seem to care. It does sound like it's bigger than you. So, and also like, okay, so you take him out to lunch, you say, I'm here for you. And then he's like one of these people that's like kind of immature and shitty. And like, you're his only friend. To what end? Like, what do you, if the parents won't help him and you don't really have the resources, like, do you want to become his like default girlfriend?
I think she just probably goes over to but whenever they go to visit the parents, and this is kind of this family she's adopted because it sounds like she's moved to his neck of the woods. So this is her family now. And he's just there in his bedroom. And I can totally see being annoyed. Like, you're just here asleep again.
Yeah, it's gross. It's gross to go to someone's house and there's someone young who's just like, oh, hey.
Yeah.
He's 30.
Ready to bolt back to his room. Come on. I mean, as a kid, I'd go out. My parents would have friends over. I'd go out and be like, oh, they have crackers and cheese. I'm going to eat some and then I'm going to run away like a little rat.
Who is he? How old is he?
30. Yeah.
Yeah. We're
Never
like
had a
past the
job.
age. That's the other thing. Like, I'm sure it is a tough job. He has no self-worth. And so I think the step is like first moving to Oslo, like in that room full time to be in the mix. Because every time he goes back home to that like farmhouse, he's missing out connecting with people, meeting people his own age. Maybe you could say it to the parents. Like, what's a small step? Like maybe kicking him out of the house and be like, we will pay for this for the next year.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the worst thing if you write him a letter.
I think he's in a tough spot of like, where is he supposed to meet people if he doesn't
probably
have a
embarrassed
job?
too.
And he's 100%.
Well, you could go out, you could party, but there's also like job placement things. Like you must know people. It is tough. You're like, I'm 30. People will be like, what were you doing for the last 9 years?
Sleeping.
The longer he waits, the worse it's going to get. But if the parents aren't willing to do something and your brother's not willing to talk to him, your husband, I think you're just uncomfortable.
I think she feels bad, especially because she called out, not even feels bad, but like they're in Norway where there are great resources and this guy is struggling visibly and there are things that could help him and everybody's just acting like it's cool and fine. And I think that's just kind of nagging at her.
What you could do, since like these people seem like emotionally stifled, you could look up some of those resources, because telling someone there are resources, I'd be like, okay, what? Tell a homeless person there's resources. Like if you could just have the wherewithal to get on a bus and go do that and not be high so you don't fall over and shit on yourself. Like maybe you could look up some and be like, I will make you the appointment, like kind of pushing him in the direction.
Yes. / I wonder if you can offer, you guys go out with him somewhere, not find like a stupid meetup thing. That's the worst part about these meetup things in cities where people are all doing an activity together. Because I've been trying to go to some of them. Guess what? Everybody shows up rolling in packs already. Be his little pack. Be his little safe launch pad at something, at a game night at a bar or whatever, so he can go meet some people, but also go back to you guys if he's uncomfortable. Bring him out somewhere.
Sure, but I'm talking about like the mental health stuff. Like, is there someone that deals with like depression in men or something? Be like, hey, here's a number. I made you an appointment. I thought you might like to talk to someone. Like, I think a little bit of hand holding.
Don't make the appointment for him, but yes.
Fine, but give him a brochure. Be like, call this. I'll go into the city with you. I think you should talk to someone. I guess, but I kind of, yeah, this poor kid is drowning, but you can only do so much, and he can only help himself if he'll help himself.
Yeah.
Like you can be like, it's this place. They take appointments Monday through Wednesday. If you're willing to go, I can make the appointment for you. We'll take you in. Just do it. Just one appointment. Just do it for him, because that might be a hard step.
Wouldn't you be offended though, as him, even if you do need help, if somebody's like, hey, clearly you're not doing good, so here, I made an appointment. Go talk to somebody.
It's also tough because he sounds like the kind of person who's probably defensive and shitty because he feels really bad about himself. But it's also like, I don't know if you say that. We don't know.
This rage thing that she hasn't seen in the like couple of years she's been in the mix, that they're all so scared of him because his temper is so bad. It's like we don't know what he's done. That's freaky.
Then everybody has to band together and be like, you have to move out. You can't make these people, you can't fix them. It's not your family. No. Like you can't fix them, and you cannot make them be something that they're not. You can't make him be something that he's not. And if he's not willing, he's got to like hit some kind of rock bottom or be willing to listen to someone. But I'm sorry, like you can't be left holding this. And if the parents, like he is also like this because he has parents like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Parents that are like loving him in the wrong way. And they might be like, look, we went through this in high school. He was a total pain. Like this is the best like kid glove way to handle him, which we now know mean gloves made from goat skin, not gloves for little kids. Let us know.
Okay, we have a question from one of our subscribers on Patreon. Hi there, my name is Katie. My husband Eli and I met you in Denver. I gave you the raptor claw and Sierra the dinosaur early birthday gift. It was an amazing night. My husband and I got married in October, and of course we have a lot of pressure about having a baby. We're actually on the same page about it. If it happens, but we're not actively trying. I know this might sound silly, but I have been scared of giving birth for as long as I can remember. I've been on birth control since I was 18, and now that I'm 32 and married, I don't want to be on it anymore. The thought of stopping it and potentially getting pregnant brings up a lot of anxiety for me. I guess what I'm really looking for is some advice, reassurance, or maybe just some calming words.
Here's your calming words. 1 trillion women this year have done it. Don't make the mistake of thinking that they're better than you. You can do it too. Anytime there's something hard that's like a very normal thing, even jumping out of a plane, I'm like, millions of people do this. I can do this. And I did it. And I told myself that because it is scary and you're allowed to be scared. And it's weird and annoying and I guess beautiful, whatever. But I told myself going in, I was like, billions of women do this, many with less resources than I have. Like they just do it. Because I'm like, how are these women walking around fine after you just did that? It's like the answer is you just do. You just do. Just like you were nervous to get married. Like we just do it. Just like you're nervous to get on stage. Like we just do these things. Not everyone does. So the answer is drugs are your best friend. And it's what your body is able to do. If it is. But like, it also, as your body, you know, you don't just give birth. You have time to get familiar with how weird it is. You're pregnant a little bit, then you're pregnant a lot, then you're very pregnant, uncomfortable. You get in the bed, you have some Jell-O, then they put in the drugs, then you lay there. Like, it doesn't all just happen at once. You have time to wrap your mind around it.
No, but I think it actually makes total sense that if you've spent, I'm trying to do that, 14 years or however long on birth control with like, please don't get pregnant, please don't get pregnant, please don't get pregnant. That's the refrain in your brain. So now you're going off birth control. Right. So I'm saying it makes sense psychologically that you're scared to go off birth control because it's like you've told yourself, the worst thing that could happen is I get pregnant. Now you're like, actually, it will be okay. That's a huge shift mentally from the last 12 years.
I'd be more weirded out that like my body was going to do something weird now that I'm off birth control, but it probably won't. You'll probably be fine. And you got married and this is the shift that happens. And again, it will happen so slowly and you'll know how you feel when you find out if you're pregnant. You're like, oh my God, you'll be so excited. And that takes over and your body and your chemicals change. It's very hard to explain this to convince someone who's not been pregnant. Your brain changes. Yes, it's crazy and sometimes it's bad and it's weird, but everything starts to shift to like get you excited for it. Like you nest and you think about your baby and your brain shrinks in different ways to consider the baby. Like you undergo a chemical change. So just if this makes you feel better, the person you are today is not the person who is going to be giving birth. And hormones and chemicals make that so. You're in a different place.
You saying that you'd be more worried about something weird happening if you went off birth control, all I could think is like, what if you that the person's going to lay an egg? Like, it's just like, oh no, I stopped taking my birth control.
Well, like I started taking it to control my cystic acne when I was like in my 20s.
Yeah.
And that's why I took it. And then when I stopped taking it, I was like, oh no, here it comes. And it never came back, which is cool.
Yeah.
Everybody has different reasons, you know, but birth control also gave me melasma, which is like a dark shade just on your fucking mustache. And like, there's pictures where I'm like, that looks like a light birthmark and that's gone. So like, who knows, but trust the process.
Yeah. You'll be fine. I have a very
or you won't, but we're now having conversations about postpartum in this country. You'll be fine.
You'll eventually be
full
fine.
Postpartum and still did this podcast.
the epitome of achievement and triumph.
I had postpartum, was still able to deal with online Nazis in a post October 7th world, and I still did this podcast and like pitched a full TV show. You can have a baby.
I have a very low stakes wedding question. Feel free to input opinion.
Oh, I love it.
We will.
I love how cozy this is.
I am getting married next month. I wrote a song for my husband, and I am wondering if I should play it at the wedding.
No.
For context, I am an indie singer-songwriter with my own producer, not some random person on an AI song app. I don't want to come off as, hey, look at me, but our families also really like my music. So I've thought about having the DJ make an announcement, and this could be our slow dance song where you put all the married couples on the dance floor and the newlyweds get kicked off the dance floor first, and it ends with the couple that has been married longest. Thought of that literally cute. As I was typing. Thoughts? Also, I released this, cracked me up. I released my music under a stage name, so I swear I'm not soliciting LOL. So she wasn't in the Patreon trying to get listens.
Okay, I love how self-aware you are. And I have to be honest, when I read this, the way that I read it was like you would be singing it to him. Which
no, right. She would play it. The DJ would play it.
I think that's fine. Because I don't think anyone is thinking you're doing it to like get some extra likes at a wedding. And if this is who you are, which is who he's marrying, like this is an integral part of who you are and it's a big part of your relationship, just like a song from his, I don't know what he is, his culture might be included or cuisine from your culture. Like this is a part of who you are. Why not? Plus it's your wedding. I think since you are not singing it at him, it is cool.
Because you all are doing an activity and you're not, I think the uncomfortable situation would be putting him in a spot where everybody's watching him react to something you did for him. But if it's just playing while you guys are dancing, that's perfect.
I like the couple thing, whatever. You don't have to do that to make it look like it's less about you. It's your wedding. It should be all about you. I think that's nice and that's sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Original song. Yeah.
Don't sing in his face while he just stands there, though.
Watch. He's like, it's death. Like the whole thing is like, I take your head forever.
I wrote this for you, sweetie.
This is for you, Jared. To heaven to hold. 666.
Oh, God.
Smoking dope from the pages of the Bible. I get high on Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Now they're going to hire you for the wedding. Okay, we have a doozy, a maid of honor etiquette question, which is really, I think, the main.
I am the
main
de facto
backbone.
expert.
How many times have you been a bridesmaid? Do you know offhand?
1.
Yeah, I've only been one. But we have a lot of opinions.
But the bride paid for all of our gowns, all of our jewelry that I still have the earrings.
Classy.
Our shoes were like Badgley Michigan. Like it was like
nice.
a coronation.
Wow.
Oh, and
got
I
a
was
necklace.
Michelle's only bridesmaid / maid of honor at her
Okay,
backyard
so 2.
wedding.
Yeah.
I guess so.
All right. Quick maid of honor etiquette question. Am I contractually obligated not to strangle another bridesmaid? To respect the privacy of everyone involved, I will be Stephanie Tanner. The bride will be DJ. And the bridesmaid
Okay.
testing the limits of my patience will appropriately be Kimmy Gibbler. You know
Kimmy
those
Gibbler.
names?
Yep.
Okay.
From Full House. Yeah, I'm not like a Soviet alien. Like I know.
I know. Okay, I don't know generationally where Full House falls. Maybe
How
right
old-
between us.
I hate you so much.
I don't mean it.
Generationally. Don't even.
I'm sorry. I was an Olsen Twins fan. I liked the little babies. It doesn't matter. I, Stephanie, 31 female, am maid of honor for my best friend DJ, also 31 female.
Okay.
We met in grad school in 2018, survived COVID together, and have remained best friends despite her moving to Washington, D.C. and leaving me in Denver. She found her person, and when she asked me to be maid of honor, I was ecstatic. I genuinely love her, and I am so happy for everything good that happens in her life.
I love it. I love that.
It's very sweet. You're a good friend. She is having a small wedding in Tennessee because the groom's family lives there. And for a variety of reasons, they determined it was easier to have everyone fly there than Virginia.
Closer for you. Oh, than
So-
Virginia.
Yeah,
for-
they're
Okay, whatever. Still closer for
bridesmaids-
you.
yeah. Her bridesmaids live in New York, North Carolina, Virginia, and Colorado. So
Right.
pretty spread out.
Oh, you live in Colorado. That sucks for you. All right.
Yeah. Her mom
fine
is
for you.
also throwing a bridal shower in either North Carolina or Virginia, requiring plane travel for most of us.
Okay.
Then the wedding requires travel. None of us live in Tennessee.
Okay.
DJ asked me to plan the bachelorette in Colorado because she wants mountain retreat vibes instead of last fling before the ring vibes. So again, most of the bridesmaids will have to fly in. I am planning a 3-day retreat in Breckenridge this October. I sent out Google surveys asking about budgets, preferences, and found a lovely cabin in town for $588 a person for the entire weekend, with everyone getting their own room. Anyone familiar with ski town prices knows this is basically a miracle.
I mean, that's a miracle for anywhere.
Yeah.
588.
So
Okay.
I put everyone in a group chat specifically so people could coordinate flights, rental cars, buses, etc. I asked DJ how involved she wanted to be. Her answer was not at all. She's planning a wedding, wants to be told what to pack. Perfect. Protect the bride's peace. I can do that. Enter Kimmy Gibbler.
Oh, God, Kimmy.
When I initially asked everyone's budget, Kimmy didn't give one. When I followed up, she said she wanted to keep things as cheap as possible because she had several weddings to attend. I offered to help cover some of her cabin cost because DJ really wanted everyone there. She declined. I want to emphasize that Kimmy isn't coming at me aggressively. She says thank you. She uses smiley faces. Most of her individual questions in isolation don't sound unreasonable. There are just so many questions. She asked if she would still owe the full cabin amount if she only stayed part of the weekend. Yes.
Ugh, it's
Then
2
she
days.
asked how much she owed again. Then she asked whether your Airbnb had actually been booked. Then whether it was
She
safe to
doesn't
buy
wanna
her plane
go.
ticket. Then came transportation.
Sorry, then whether it was safe to what?
Whether it was safe to buy her plane ticket because only 2 people had paid me so far. So basically, like, are we actually doing this? Before I buy my ticket, is everybody else
Okay.
bought theirs?
Okay.
She found a 6 a.m. flight home, asked if it was feasible whether anyone else was leaving that early. I said, no, she'd need to leave Breckenridge around 2 a.m. I didn't know everyone else's plans. She could ask in the group chat. She asked, should I say something in the group chat? Yes, that's why I made the group chat. She then asked where everyone lived and where everyone was flying from. I answered what I knew. She finally posted in the group chat several other girls were considering early flights. She asked the other Colorado bridesmaid if she could drive them to the airport at 2 a.m. The bridesmaid told her, sorry, I promised to help Stephanie with checkout. Then immediately texted me to say she hoped that was okay because she didn't want to wake up at 2 a.m. to drive people to DIA. I told her, yeah, she could, quote, help me with checkout.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
It's so good. Then Kimmy came back to me asking whether DJ could take the early morning crew to the airport. She offered to text DJ directly if I
The
preferred.
bride to get up at 2 a.m. to go to the worst airport. One of the worst airports.
No, I do not prefer you ask the bride to leave her own bachelorette trip at 2 a.m. to drive people to the airport.
2 a.m. That means you can't go out on Saturday night.
Right. You just go out and then you go to the airport, I guess.
Oh.
A couple weeks later, Kimmy texts me another flight itinerary. This one lands at DIA at 2:22 Friday p.m. I already told everyone because the Airbnb is
God.
in my name. I'm leaving my house at 1, getting groceries and heading up so I can check in before everyone else arrives. Anyone who can get to me by 1 is welcome to ride with me. DIA is 45 minutes in the opposite direction of Breckenridge, though, so I'm not doing airport pickup service. She asked if there's any chance I can wait for her to get to my house after her 2:22 flight so she can ride with me. No.
This girl's never gone anywhere before. She's never gone anywhere. She doesn't know how to do anything.
She's a mess. DJ texts me. Kimmy just let it slip that the weekend will be in Breck because she asked me how I plan to get there.
Oh my God.
But if there are other surprises, she might need some extra reminders. She has been known to take multiple things from my house that she thought I was offering her as gifts, but I did not. I didn't tell her that I didn't know the location so she wouldn't feel bad. She just needs very specific instructions sometimes. Ha ha.
Why are you friends with this girl? Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Well, the bride is friends with her, and we're finding out the bride knows she just takes things. So today, when this question asker wrote in, Kimmy creates a separate group chat with just me and the other Colorado bridesmaid. Her flight
Good.
changed. There's now a connection and a long delay. The airline is offering her a Monday flight leaving Denver at 1:18 p.m.
Great.
Since Airbnb checkout is at 10, could we leave Breckenridge at 8 to take her to the airport? At this point, I finally abandoned customer service Stephanie and responded, I will not be leaving by 8 a.m. So we get some more stuff, some more back and forth. And then instead of the question slowing down as she figures things out, Kimmy keeps coming back to me with a new version of the same logistical problem. I'm officially at a loss for how to change that dynamic without suddenly seeming like an asshole after being so accommodating up until now. At some point, intention stops mattering quite as much. She may phrase things nicely, but she seems incapable of making a logistical decision without turning it into someone else's logistical decision, and I am exhausted. No one else in the bridal party seems to be having this much difficulty figuring out how to attend the exact same trip. And I have to deal with Kimmy Gibbler until the wedding in April 2027, which is also taking place on my birthday. As maid of honor, I do feel some responsibility for running interference. If someone is being overly needy, inconsiderate, rude, or making something stressful, I would rather deal with it than have it land on the bride. And Kimmy is giving me this is ridiculous.
A lot.
Kimmy is giving me ample warning signs that unless something changes, there's a decent chance I'm going to be managing her throughout the rest of this process. Thoughts?
Oh.
Have I accidentally created this problem by being too accommodating? How do I reset expectations with Kimmy without creating tension that ultimately gets back to DJ? Where is the line between protecting the bride's peace and enabling another adult to make her problems mine? And how do I make it clear, preferably before April 2027, that while I will happily be DJ Tanner's maid of honor, I will not also be Kimmy Gibbler's camp counselor?
Okay. First of all, you are the maid of honor, but it is not your job to in absolute protect this woman from her friend who she knows is a pain in the ass. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not her sovereign guard. You're not her keeper. And it's really annoying that Kimmy was like, by the way, it's in Breckenridge. That's going to have to be on the friend. Yeah, you're planning a wedding, but people have jobs and plan weddings and live their lives. And she doesn't need to be shielded from the atrocities of the world. Okay. Here's what you do. You do not answer anything off of the thread that does not have DJ on it. So it's just you and the other bridesmaids. You keep it all there. I would send a recap. I would. Here's what I would do. First of all, no one's picked up the phone, but I get that we don't really want to talk, right? Because she seems annoying. I cannot. I'm a very organized person. And when people come to me with like the little problems, I'm just like, you're a fucking adult. Like you pay taxes, you vote, like you can do this. She's probably messy and someone always picks up the slack. You're kind of hoping she doesn't come. What she's proposing is selfish and also like a mark of just someone who like doesn't travel. Because she's asking everyone else to like curtail their fun so she like doesn't have to spend $100 on an airport shuttle or something. Okay. I would send her a text and you could just be like, hey, we're just narrowing this down. I feel like there's some confusion. I'm giving you these are the details. I know that you want to leave early. Like be like, there's airport shuttles available, but I know that the girls are all staying this time and doing this time. And that's it. And then I would kind of just stop answering her questions. You've in your generosity and being a human, you started answering questions, but now you've answered enough that you're like, oh no, she's asking me. I would just answer fewer of them. And that's it. I would focus on what you're doing with these girls and you can just keep her up to date. Like, hey, we decided we're doing the dinner at 7. We're checking in at this time. We're doing brunch here. And then there's this. That's on her to conform to the rest of the plan. It would be different if a couple of girls weren't sure and it wasn't solid, but it's solidified. She also may not be able to afford it, which is really annoying because it's like, that's awful. And you've already offered to help her pay, but it's like, this is not a budgeted trip. So I would put in black and white what it is, maybe even do it for the group. Be like, hey girls, we're getting closer to the bachelorette party. I just want to put in writing what the itinerary is so that everyone can figure out their plans around it. But I know we're all so excited. Mm-hmm. And then if she writes to you, you can just be like, sorry, this is the agreed upon plan. Sorry, you know? That way you can be like, we have the text to refer to.
Yeah.
And if she goes to DJ, that says a lot more about her. And if DJ comes to you, you can be like, I have done every single thing that I can. I did my best. She's the one that spilled it about the location. She's made this really hard. And I didn't want to say anything, but she's obviously chosen to go to you. But like, also you should give her the option to not come.
I'm like a little annoyed by DJ. And I know that you guys are BFFs. But DJ coming to our question asker and saying like, you know, just you should really remind her not to spoil things to me. You know, Kimmy Gibbler is a idiot freak. You knew this was going to happen. Like she's putting it on you. Don't internalize it as much as you are. You have done you are such a good friend and you're trying to give your friend this beautiful experience. It's not going to be a beautiful experience if you're having a mental break because you've like chained your hand to Kimmy Gibbler so she won't walk into traffic.
And it's also like this girl hasn't picked up the phone, but it sounds like she doesn't have the money to do this trip, which is a bummer. But like when it comes to finances, dietary restrictions, personal preferences, don't make those other people's problems, especially if the whole group is doing something. Like just bow out.
Well, and I would guess, Iliza, you and I are both the people that if we're out in a group, we're both ready to go, okay, I'm going to call the Uber rather than someone should call an Uber. What's happening here? Someone should do something. Someone should make a reservation. Like we're just going to do it and get it done with. And I think Kimmy's just one of those people. It's just like, someone should drive somewhere and I'll just be told when to get there and do it. Like
That's
some
right.
people just don't. Where do I park at the restaurant? I'm like, I've never been to the restaurant either. I Googled it and saw where to park.
But you're capable. Like, but it occurred to you to Google it. Not everybody's a good traveler. The older I get, the less of a spot in my heart I have for the friends that just kind of go along with it. I'm like, why? So you just think Uber show up? You just think the bill gets paid for? Like,
right.
It is often like distinctly like a female quality, but I guess men do that too. And because someone's willing to do the work, but you're like, I'm just trying to throw this bachelorette party, fucking log on for your life. I think what I would do is write that text so it's all there. And then I would answer her less and less and just make less available and kind of hope that she just doesn't come.
Yes, I think you've been not equivocating, but like kind of trying to be, oh, no, I would take you. Just if she's like, hey, can anyone get me? No, or don't reply if it's in the group that are saying,
and
no,
it's
I'm
okay
not
to
doing
be
it.
firm, to be like, no one's available to do that.
Yeah.
No, the answer is no. What's she going to do? Be like, you were rude. You're like, it's 2 a.m. going to the worst airport. Like, are you fucking high? She also has no idea how annoying that airport is. And she's not from there. So she doesn't have like an idea of like the space between that airport, that it takes a half hour from the welcome to the Denver airport sign to the actual airport. She doesn't know.
And I think you're very right that it's somebody who doesn't travel that much, because I think there's this thing of like, if you've traveled a little bit, you start to realize you pay a little more money because your time is worth money. And she's like, but like, let me do a 2 a.m. Let me leave at 2 a.m. for a 6 a.m. flight because I bet it's cheaper. And it's like, but you're going to pay more for an Uber. You're going to do like.
It feels very young, like young kind of negotiating. And it's like, yeah, I guess if you only stay for one day, but it's like, you're really going to fly in for one day. Like she wants to be part of it, but she doesn't have the grace to make that easier. Like, hey, I can only come for one day, but I'd love to chip in for dinner. Is that like, it's just going to be a pain in the ass getting money from this girl. I would give her as little oxygen as possible in the hopes that she cancels.
Yeah. Well, then you all have to pay more, but you were kind of ready for that.
Did she already pay?
I don't know if she's already paid yet. She keeps asking,
Here's
what if I did this? What if I did that?
Here's what I would do, and this sometimes backfires on me, but here's what I would do. Hey, you guys, we have to put the deposit down. We have to put our payment down. So I need everyone's payment by September 5th or something.
Yeah.
Like put a clock on it. Give it a deadline, because she's vacillating. Either she can't afford it, doesn't want to go, can't get her shit together. But what better way to guarantee to put her feet to the fire than to be like, it's due September 5th. Sorry, it's already,
Yeah.
That's just to make sure that she pays and gets her shit. That way, once she's paid, like that's on her. Now it's, you already paid your money. I have it. Now it's on you. And be like, and there's no refunds once we're past this date. I know this seems like a lie. That way, and then you can always like give her money back if you want. But that way, she will feel the pressure to figure out her travel since that money has been spent.
Yeah.
And it's not on you.
No.
And then if she does text you separately, you can be like, I'm really doing my best to accommodate everyone. We put it all in the plan that we agreed to. So I hope you can get an airport shuttle or figure out your flight.
Yeah. Good luck.
Like I'm representing the group. Yeah. Ugh.
Ugh. Question for y'all. My
Sometimes
husband
I think I'm too capable, and that's a problem too.
Wouldn't it be nice to just be the Kimmy? I wouldn't want to exchange so many texts, but just be like, I'm just going to show up and see what happens. Somebody will drive me somewhere.
I can't be that person.
No, my heart would stop.
There are
Question
people who
for
show
y'all.
up at the airport without ID and they somehow get on the flight. Like, I don't know. But it's a vibe. Like if you
late.
try to do that, it won't work. Some people are just like that.
Yeah, I couldn't
I'm
travel
jealous
with
on
them.
Yeah.
My husband said the email title should be, Should We Drop My Husband's Family? Background. I'm 30F, female. My husband, 34 male, has 2 brothers, 39 male, red, 33 male, blue.
This question is filled with rage bait.
They came to visit the first weekend in May to play golf and hang out. The 2 brothers drove up together. In December 2025, we moved from Hawaii to about 2.5 hours away from them. Red recently got his divorce finalized and is insanely competitive. Red has 2 kids, 15 male and 13 female. Blue has an 8-year-old stepson and a 1-year-old biological son. All 3 like to golf and are very competitive. Blue and my husband
likes to golf.
I guess all the brothers. Blue and my husband don't have any issues. Red is an asshole, in my opinion. And I know that changes my view of the whole situation. Red's the older one. Saturday they golfed. We all went to dinner and I drove them downtown to an arcade bar. I was the designated driver, so they don't have to Uber. It's 25 to 30 minutes from our house, and I wanted to go to the arcade bar. We went to a second bar because the other 2 brothers went into it instead of following us to the car. Looking back, we should have insisted we go home and left the second bar immediately. I drove everyone home. I was sober. My husband is tipsy. 2 brothers are very, very drunk. Red and Blue are bickering in the back seat, but then they start jostling in the back seat and really scare me. At one point, they're really shaking the car, and one of them is saying, I'm going to kill you. My husband and I had to repeatedly yell at them to stop yelling and to get buckled. They can't shut up for the 10-minute we had left of the drive home. Red said to Blue something along the lines of how his stepson isn't his seed and he will never be one of us.
Ew. Ew, says seed.
Ugh. Red also said my husband is a little bitch because I'm driving us home. What? We get home. Red says Blue's son will never be his son, blah, blah. Blue punches Red. I didn't see this. I just came outside after and saw Red on the ground.
Oh, good.
My husband is talking to Blue outside while I'm inside with Red, and I can't keep him inside. He's bigger than me and super drunk. Red throws up in the toilet multiple times. Blue has to drag him to bed.
Cool.
He walked into the closet thinking it was the bathroom.
Why do men do that?
I don't know. What's the problem?
Like, there's no context clues that this. You knew enough to go to a door, and there's no context clues that this is a urinal. But you don't know what a shirt is,
right?
Shoes.
Red is sobbing uncontrollably and kept saying his girlfriend will come pick him up, which she didn't do because it was 1:30 a.m. and she lives 2.5 hours away.
Ew.
Red spits on our bedroom wall. I get to clean up blood-tinged spit. He spills water from the fridge in the middle of the night, doesn't clean it up. I hope it was water.
It's probably his seed. His strong seed.
Gross. In the morning, Blue apologized to me and to my husband again. I didn't go downstairs when Red was awake because I didn't want to be around him. All he said to my husband was, "Love you," and then the brothers left. My husband and Red didn't talk for at least a month. At the beginning of July, my husband and Red spoke. My husband told me he was an ass, and it was evident from the conversation Red didn't remember a lot, didn't realize how he acted. I'm not sure exactly what my husband said, but he told me he was acting a fool and super drunk. What would you do in this situation? Is it reasonable to say I don't want to be around him? I feel so disrespected and so angry. I want Red to understand how his actions affected everyone. I don't expect an apology from him, but I hope he apologizes to my husband. My husband has said they can't both visit unless they agree not to drink, and if they do, they're going to have to go somewhere else. I know you're going to say my husband has to talk to him and it can't be me, which he knows. I'm just having a hard time letting it go. I don't want to hear about his life or what he has going on when my husband mentions him, and I don't want to be around him at Thanksgiving or Christmas. My husband and I have been together since 2019, married since 2021. I've seen him 8-9 times. Obviously, I need therapy since I can't seem to let it go.
I don't think you do.
No, but we got a little extra context, which makes Red look like even more of a piece of shit, which is my husband is better at golf than Red, and Red
well, there you go.
cannot
That's
deal
justified.
with it. He will complain and ruin a round if he's losing. Red came to visit in Hawaii and cut his trip short because they got into an argument while golfing. Red seems to only call my husband when he needs something. And Red told Blue before Blue got married and had kids that he could never respect a man who doesn't have kids. At the dinner when they visited, I said something to my husband or the group, and Red said, "That's the worst part about being married, listening to their opinions." And he wasn't joking. So
you know what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Here's what I hate about this. This person, if he doesn't die in a bar fight or a drunk driving accident, will either get sober and or find Jesus. And then you're going to have to field a phone call where they tell you how sorry they are for all of this emotional damage. And they may be actually sorry and they may feel really bad, but it doesn't change the fact that you have to put up with this. And because you're a woman, you always look bad. He gets to act like this, and like you're going to be like the bitch who won't listen. You put as much distance between you and this person as possible, because this is not someone, I feel like this person would hit you. This person seems like they have like no boundaries. They have no respect for women, and they hate their own marriage. Is he married? He's divorced, right? He hates his ex-wife. She probably cheated on him. He feels like less of a man. This is all like stuff that I've seen just in the world. Give him nothing. Give him nothing. You do not spend time with them when they're together. You have firm rules that are not conveyed to him. Your husband's not allowed to go golfing with him. And if he is like, I don't want to hear about it, you will not be driving them. You are not his keeper. You will not be helping them out. And you will not be around them if they're drinking. Like, you are unavailable to spend time with this person.
Yeah. Disrespect.
And it's not because they owe you an apology. It's because there is no spiritual benefit to being around this person who is like a loose cannon. So your whole time you're just waiting for something to set him off. Maybe he's going to punch your husband, yell at your husband, say something shitty about this 8-year-old kid, get drunk. You don't need this. Nobody needs to be around this. You still live in Hawaii?
2.5 hours away from Hawaii, they say, but it sounds like maybe just another part of Hawaii.
You live in Hawaii. You don't need this shit.
Yeah.
This guy's dealing with a lot of issues and needs to see like a postpartum marriage counselor.
Ugh,
Never
he's
tell him how
just-
you feel. Never sit around a table with him again. Because even if you say to him, like, you need to get some counseling because you're incredibly broken and you're a misogynistic piece of shit, he's going to be like, that's because you're a fat bitch. Like, he's always going to come out on top because he's bigger and stronger. You just need to sort of pity him and just never be around him. That's it. Your husband can go, fine. You want to play golf? Fine. But you cannot be involved.
No, and you're not driving.
They can call
them.
an Uber. What's with people not knowing how to call transportation?
Well, especially you were the designated driver. That was very nice of you to go do so that they didn't have to worry about it. I guarantee you this man didn't say thank you. He just was like, oh, you're a little bitch because your wife's driving us. You wanted him to
Disgusting.
drive drunk instead? Like, what are you talking about? What even is the burn there?
He said I feel like he would hit you or he'd hit your husband if you pointed that out. There's no outsmarting a guy like this. God, I went to high school with guys like this and they're just shitty. They're just deeply shitty and broken. And you can't fix that. And all you can do is get out of the way and just kind of hold your head high and just don't let him disturb you.
Yeah.
Because there's no winning. Ugh.
Top of the cob.
It's the top of the cob. We're doing it right every day. You just take a bite, top of the cob.
Starting with bottom, I have one related to Hawaii. Not mine. Listener. But let's go right into Hawaii things. Listener shares Hawaii Island just got wrecked due to Hurricane Lala.
I know.
And she says, my top is that my home husband, dog, and I are fine. My bottom is I have no power or water and won't for weeks due to broken poles and down lines. My bottom cob is that tourists continue to travel here and complain about not having access to places and lacking supplies. Stop visiting places that are experiencing emergencies unless you are here to help.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to get mad at the tourists when hotels take the booking.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah, I just figured since we were just talking about Hawaii,
yeah.
this was
It's
22 hours
such
ago.
a rough place to live. Like, it's so beautiful. And like on my last trip, I was just like, this is a culture that has been completely beaten into the ground and is only revived for like performances at like dinner time at the Marriott. I feel so bad for anyone who's Hawaiian, just dealing with natural disasters and like the full on occupation of your land by corporations. And your culture being reduced down to almost nothing. I could see why they're angry.
Yeah, I've heard enough about Hawaii that I'm like, they don't want me there. I'm not going. That's fine. I'll go somewhere.
You can, no, but they want you because the other, like, tourism is a huge part of it. And you can be a respectful tourist or postpone your trip or something. But that is tough. People, just to be fair, like, just so we're not like just eating the rich, like, people make those reservations and they could be, you can't get a refund. You're already going. You didn't hear about the hurricane. And you go, like, no one's going to spend their vacation helping out, especially when everything that you bought on the vacation is like, yeah, come on over. But that's hard.
Yeah. My bottom is I had a post like go viral and get like 1 million views. And it was a picture of me with Famke Janssen. And people are still commenting on it meanly. And I'm scared.
Let me see.
It's
Also,
it's a
kudos
photo
for the
of me.
pronunciation.
Well, so someone basically posted that they were at a convention and she put a yardstick. Turned out it was fake, but all these people basically started talking about actors at these conventions and that they're losers and that they should be grateful for people's money and that they should be able to touch them if they want to. And why won't this woman let them touch her because they're paying her $60 and they should get to touch her. So I posted, was like, that's not true.
Weird guy saying that. Can I see your picture? Just share.
It was a lot of people. Yeah. So I posted like that. I literally just saw her a week ago and that's not true. And then somehow it got like picked up into the ether of it. And then all these people are being really mean to me.
And people are saying what?
I mean, just like, what a loser for doing this. Why would you get this photo? But then also saying like, well, she's an old hag. Who cares? Like...
They're saying you're an old hag or Famke?
No, Famke and anybody, but they're just commenting like, well, you look scary anyway. She shouldn't have wanted to take a picture with you. You look horrible.
This is 10 years ago?
Loser. No, I posted this.
No, but the picture is from when?
Like a month ago when I went to Knoxville.
Why is this coming through? Just text it already.
I ain't, because I was also talking. I can't do two things at once. So
you can't?
No, so it became part of the algorithm of like this conversation of people talking about celebrities at conventions not being grateful enough. And now everyone's bullying me.
Why you? You're like, I mean,
Look at me, I'm happy. And they're like, well, you're still
touching
far
her.
away from her. And I was like, well, my hand's on the chair. It's not touching her.
I mean, you're dressed
But
like a maniac. You're wearing.
I'm dressed for a convention.
Okay. So you're like, I don't understand the comments though. People are like, you shouldn't be touching her back.
No, they're like, she should. Why would you pay to meet another human being? Number one, you're a loser for doing that.
1 million views? Why you?
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I was like, I have to turn off these comments. I'm scared.
Listen to me. Turn them off, my sweet, sweet angel. Make yourself a marshmallow cookie and get in bed. I would be like, why you? Also, she's beautiful. Second
Then
of all,
everybody's being mean. Well, and I was thinking, I was like, this is why Iliza takes Instagram. I was like, I can't believe everything you post, strangers just have something to say. I mean, to a lesser extent, that video I posted about the Odyssey and the Cyclops, people keep commenting, clean your fucking microphone, disgusting. And I'm like, fuck off. I need that cat hair for sound. I don't know you. Get out of here.
I don't know you, but here's the other thing. Like, these celebrities wouldn't do these conventions if people like you weren't paying money. Like, this is an economy that you're paying into. And that is the thing. All celebrities, no, you do not have the right to touch them, which I think you are in that. But I'm sure she was okay with it.
I'm
you're
not
a girl.
touching her. My hand's on the chair. They said, put your hand on the chair.
Hands on the chair.
And I said, okay.
People don't get it. Like, without your audience, you're nothing. It doesn't matter if you're Beyonce or Taylor Swift. If you don't have fans who are willing to like go to the mat for you emotionally and like get tattoos of you and download your music and wear your shirts, you don't have anything.
But so here's the part that I was trying that I couldn't get sunk into. And that was when I was like, I don't know how Iliza doesn't just argue with people all day long online, because the argument happening from a lot of people is these actors are washed up. They should be so grateful for my cash. I should be able to lick them if I want to. Basically,
That's
like
insane.
she should
But
be
that's
so
an
grateful.
insane thing for an insane
I
person
know,
to say.
But it's hundreds of people saying it, and I was getting so mad. Like,
Yeah, but
how
they're
is
not.
everybody so insane?
I bet they're not real.
Well,
and they're
that's
definitely not women.
Well, yeah, it's. I was just like getting so mad. I'm like, don't argue with these people. Don't argue with these people. I wanted to argue so bad.
That's the other thing. And it kind of reminds me of like the Hawaiian thing. Not that I don't love the person who wrote in, but like people are mad that people pay into a market that exists. The market wouldn't exist if people didn't pay into it. Now, you could also make that argument for like pedophilia. Like there's people who do it, so people supply it, whatever. But that's also, I'm saying like that's the argument for drugs. Like if people didn't do them, there would be no cartels to make them. People wouldn't die. If people weren't participating in mass in these things, Amazon, for example, these things wouldn't exist. So vote with your dollar. If you don't want something to exist, then enough people need to be like, we're not doing that. That's why things go out of business. That's why companies fold, because people boycott them. So the idea, it's very internet though, to like zoom in on one person and to be like, you should, whether they're arguing that you should or shouldn't, the point is you are contributing to an economy that isn't but just because you've paid, it doesn't mean that your dollar is worth that much.
Yeah, you're paying for a signature or a photo, not a lick.
That's why, and you know where that's sex work, which also people pay for, and that's why it should be legal because someone's willing to pay for it. I feel like I didn't really prove my point, but the bulk of the people that wrote to you are robots or really gross men.
That's the other thing. I'm like, who are all these fake accounts? Like I was just spiraling like, what, this is what happens online? How are people? I kept thinking of you, but I was like, well, she's not on Instagram as much anymore. So I won't bring it up to her so that she doesn't get back on.
Also, like no one's worried for the most part about women.
Well, here's the problem is I wore like a fun Barbie shirt without thinking, but it does say, do you ever think about dying? And someone was like, security should have stopped
from
you.
Barbie.
That's a scary shirt. How would you wear that to take a photo? And I was like, I don't think I look like a threat.
No. All right.
Okay, your bottom, please.
My bottom of the cup trumps your bottom of the cup, and I'm actually going to say one part of it and then save the rest for the Patreon. I was in a car accident on my way to Tijuana. Thank God it happened on the way to Tijuana, not once in Tijuana, because that would have been a much more difficult insurance process. And that's all I'm going to say. I'll tell you the rest of the thing. Yeah.
It was you and Noah, though?
accidentes? Llámame. 777-777-7. Yes, Noah was there and two of our friends. And my hand feels numb.
Oh.
So I guess we should have done
Okay.
top of the cob first.
No, we end on top because it's happy.
My hand's not numb, but part of it feels a little tingly and weird, but I can't tell if it's psychosomatic. Okay,
Yeah.
top of the cob.
Top of the cob. Okay. From a listener, I think this is exactly what you like in a top of the cob, Iliza. You let me know. Top of the cob. The feeling of excitement when you are getting ready to leave the house to celebrate a holiday with your family. I love the hustle and bustle of the house when everyone is racing to get out the door on time, dressed up in nice clothes.
Does that happen anymore? That's so sweet. That's very Love
I feel
Actually.
like it does. Yeah, it's very sweet. I was like, oh, I can picture that emotion, you know?
Yes, only because I've seen it in movies. Only because I saw Home Alone.
Well, they're all having a tough time in Home Alone. They got too many kids. My top is, I think I did a lizard recently, but I have a better lizard story, which is my mom called me the other day and said, hey, if you come over tonight, you could meet a lizard. And I said, you can't guarantee that. It's not going to be there still. She's like, there's a lizard in my bedroom. And I said, it's just not going to be there. And I went over and I got to see the lizard and it was a baby. So,
Okay.
promise made, promise delivered.
Okay. I live in Southern California. We have a lot of lizards. I saw one this morning.
In your house?
Yeah, no, but that's weird. You don't
This
live
was in the
like
bathroom,
Costa
chilling.
Rica.
I got one in my bathroom. My parents got one in their bathroom. The lizards are migrating.
Matching. I don't know what to do with that or you. My top of the cob is shrimp aguachiles. I ate a
What's
bunch.
that?
It's raw shrimp marinated in like delicious citrus or like some kind of spices. And I just love the consistency, like the texture and consistency of that raw shrimp. And they're really fresh. And we had them in Tijuana, and we met up with some of Noah's friends, and they even took me to a special because Noah was like, I want to go to all these bars, one of these tacos. And I was like, I like aguachiles. They gave me a special aguachile spice. And then at the restaurant, Carmelita, which was amazing, they made me special aguachiles dish, and it wasn't even on the menu. And I ate the whole thing like a grateful harp seal.
Yeah. Yum.
I love aguachiles, the shrimp kind. Anywho, that's the top of the cob. I have some fun announcements about some fun things coming up, but I can't share anything yet. So I will just say for now, please keep writing in your questions. Please keep engaging on our Patreon. Send in your fun coffees, and shameless plug to my newsletter, totally free, Slow Sunday. I post links to it on my Instagram, or you can just type in Iliza Slow Sunday on the internet and it will take you right to the page where all the like archives of the letters are, and you can sign up. And Glenn is texting me right now, and he wants to say, and so subscribe to our show, though, he wants you to know. And we would really like it if you would share the show with a friend. My favorite is when couples are like, we listen and we talk about it. Have a listening party. Subscribe to our show. Leave us a nice review. I'm not interested in a critique. Just a nice review. Engage on the videos. You can also write your questions into Ask Iliza
Podcast
podcast@gmail.com. And we're here for you. It's the end of August. Thank fucking God. And you guys, it's almost fall, which here in Southern California means it's time for me to go pumpkin shopping in 80-degree weather. See you there. You had a haircut this whole time, and I didn't even notice.
Look how much less.
Wow. Well, don't do that. Per usual, it looks so healthy. Oh, it's like an adult haircut. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Well, I'm meeting Denise Richards in 2 weeks. So
Just so we're all clear, this is a pickup because our show ended and Glenn was like, you both got new haircuts. And I was like, Emily got a haircut. I think it's just because it's still so much hair. Let's both do it. Wait, let's both do it.
you wanna?
That doesn't break the internet.